it seemed to us, than you know, the other ocean waters we'd seen. And so that was my second time to be at Disney World, because when I went to just visit my cousin out there by myself, she had taken me to Disney World and different places, you know. But that is something to see. The thing, they on Monday, they taped 4 shows of Wheel of Fortune, and there were times when others of the contestants had built up some winnings, you know, and then something would come and it would just all go. And Kathy just happened to, you know, just always get the right answers. I mean, she was just something else. She is very good at those puzzles. And so she won all the money that was, you know, given on the different games. But then when they got to the bonus, well, she won that, and the bonus that she chose, she had her choice of $25,000 or this or that, or some, or I think it was $25,000. Anyway, there were some choices, but she chose the car, and we have on the film, you know, it shows her getting in the car, you know, and she enjoyed that car. And I don't, you know, personally, I would say I don't know that it did her a lot of good financially in the long run, you know, how those things sometimes go. But nevertheless...
So y'all drove 2 cars back?
No, we didn't get the car then. Oh. She didn't get the car until November. See, this is all part of my, when I say the biggest year I ever had was my 70th year. I was 70 years old that year. And this was, I had just come back from 6 weeks and 60 days in Germany.
Okay.
This is 87. This is 87. This was my biggest year to whatever happened to me, you know, because just before in 86, I bought this lot. That's another little story, you see. That's a little story. Well, then when I got back, I got started with the house.
Do you want me to get that?
I don't know whether it's worth getting or not. You know, I get there and if somebody wants to.
Okay.
They can leave a message if it's important.
I'm getting down to the last 15 minutes of time that I've got here.
Okay, that's what we're trying to say. Well, anyway, we will finish that story. But so this is the 2. And we also, everybody, I think, in the family liked that picture.
Please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
And so they're 2 and 4 years old on that picture.
Kid.
Close as I remember, I don't remember the exact day, but we took that. There were 2 brothers that for a while were in photography business here, and I think they're the ones that took this, Elbow Brothers. But we always thought that was kind of one of the cute pictures we had.
There was. Okay, next.
And this picture I always liked. We had this made to put on our Christmas cards one year. So I think they were 2, 4, and 6 in that picture.
So that's Ernest?
Ernest and Jean, and Ernest and Annette and Jean. This is Jean. I was in the corner of the living room down there at Mill Street. Oh. And this was with Catherine. See, she had just been, she was probably just 6 months old or something. Well, this must have been close to Christmas, and she was born in October, so I guess this was before Christmas that we. I always liked this picture too. You see, there was this little stairway in that middle room when you came into that house. I've thought about. I'd like to talk about that house down there sometime, you know, and what we did to it and so forth, because it needed redoing when we were. I liked it, and this was taken. It probably the first year that we were married, or it could have been taken before. I don't know. This is Dr. Kester from New Braunfels. And this is taken on the street in San Antonio. They went together to a chiropractic meeting, and this was just taken off a street photographer. But I always thought it was a good picture of him, of the two of them. He kind of fathered him, you know, in a way. I mean, Lee looked up to him, I think, and they were in good contact with each other. They, for a while, they were the main ones and almost the only ones. And you know, where there's a picture of Jean out of Catherine.
Let's see. This is the last one.
Oh,
So the next one. There we go.
And this is a picture of Ernest on the steps of grandmother and the grandparents' Wilde house that was on University Avenue. So he's the only one that got to be there because she died, and then that house was moved and all. So I don't think we have any other pictures of that house. I feel about it like I do about the other grandmother's house. I could close my eyes, or without closing my eyes, I can just see what is there, and you know, if I have any ability to do it, I could draw a house plan of it, you know. It's just like I could still walk in there. And he was always a good one taking pictures, and I generally always had a good smile on his face. And this is when they were in the wedding, and we had this extra picture made at the studio. I made those dresses. They have hoop skirts under them. And this is Jane. I regret very much, and I don't understand how this could have happened, that I don't have any single pictures of Jean in younger years. But this is Jean. I remember about that. I'm just kind of, and that's a good picture of her that she likes when she was in high school at this time. And they were taking it in San Antonio. It used to be a big deal to go to San Antonio, and Josh goes with grandmother. She went to San Antonio frequently. I don't know where I was at what point I was. At this time I was teaching school, I know that, but that's all. In New Braunfels. Oh dear, this is Kathy. I don't remember this picture, but I remember this dress. I wish I still had it. It's a silk dress and pale, pretty colors in paisley. I made it, but you know, eventually you have to get rid of things. So I guess I don't know, that I had that without glasses, because I was wearing glasses from the time I was 19. I don't remember this picture. I remember the dress. Isn't that funny?
It is.
I don't.